Hi everyone, we're going to learn about sigma notation today, how to find the sum of an arithmetic series by using sigma notation, and how to write an arithmetic series in sigma notation. Now the question is, what is this sigma notation? This is the sign for sigma. This is where we write the lower limit of the series, and this is where we write the upper limit of the series. This is where we write the general term of the series. The general term, or you can also say this is the nth term of the series. Let's look at an example. Sigma notation, that means we have to find the sum of this series. N equals to 2, the lower limit is 2, and the upper limit is 12. The general term or the nth term of the series is 18 minus 2n. Now, if you want to find the first term of this series, all you need to do is just substitute n equals to 2, which is the lower limit for this series, and you will get your first term. u1 equals to 18 minus 2 times 2. This will give you 18 minus 4, which is 14. If you want to find the second term of the series, you have to substitute the next number. We used 2 for the first term, that's why we are going to use n equals to 3 for the second term. u3 is going to give me 18 minus 2 times 3, which is 18 minus 6. This will give me 12. If you want to find the third term, you need to substitute the next n, which is 4. u3 equals to 18 minus 2 times 4. 18 minus 8 will give you 10. Now, what if you want to find the last term of the series? To find the last term of the series written in sigma notation, you need to substitute the upper limit into the general form. I'm going to do that. 18 minus, I'm going to substitute n equals to 12 to get the last term of the series. 18 minus 24, it will give me negative 6. Let's look at the series now. We have 14. We have 12. Because this is sigma notation, we use this plus sign. 14 plus 12 plus 10, and it goes on until the term becomes negative 6. The u1, the first term of the series, is 14. Then you have to figure out what kind of series is this. You can see that the numbers are decreasing by 2. If you take any number and subtract it by the previous number, you will get negative 2. If you take 10 minus 12, that will also give you negative 2. So this confirms that this series is an arithmetic series. We know our common difference. We know the first term. Now we need to know the number of terms in this series. Because the n started with 2, it didn't start with 1. So if you want to find the number of terms, you need to take the upper limit, which is 12, subtract the lower limit for it, and then add 1 to it. In this case, it's going to be 12 minus 2. That will give you 10. 10 plus 1 will give you 11. That means there are 11 terms in this series. Because you have this sign, that means you have to find the sum of this series starting from n equals to 2 up to n equals to 12. We know that this series is an arithmetic series, so we can just use the formula for the sum of an arithmetic series to get the total sum of this series. I'm going to use as the number of terms 11. This equals to n over 2 times 2 u1 plus n minus 1 times d. In this case, the n is going to be 11 because there are 11 terms in the series. The first term is 14 plus 11, n equals to 11 minus 1, and the common difference is negative 2. 11 over 2 will give you 5.5. 14 times 2 will give you 28. Then you always do this first. 11 minus 1 is 10. 10 times negative 2 is negative 20. 5.5 times 8. 5.5 times 8 will give you 44. Now, because you know the last term, you can also use the other formula for the sum of an arithmetic series, the one that we use when we have the first term and the last term of the series. We can double check our answer by using this. S of 11 equals to 11 over 2. u1 is 14. u1, the last term, is negative 6. 14 minus 6 is 8, and 8 times 5.5 is 44 again. So the sum of this series, 12n equals to 2, 18 minus 2n, this equals to 44. Now let's look at an example where you have the series but you want to write it in sigma notation. Let's look at a different series. I have 5, -5, -15, goes on until you have this term, -755. This is the last term of the series. My U1 is 5. Then we have to check if this is an arithmetic series. You can take any term and subtract it by the previous term. -5 minus 5, the previous term is 5. This equals to -10. You can also double check by using another number. Let's take -15 minus, and the term before that is also minus, so I'm going to write it in parentheses. It will also give me -10. This confirms that this series is an arithmetic series and the common difference is -10. I know my first term, I know the common difference is -10. What about the number of terms in this series? The last term of this series is -755. If you can find the n for this term, that means you will find the total number of terms in this series. How many terms are there in this series? Let's do that. I'm just going to use the formula for the nth term. U1 is 5 plus n minus 1. I don't know what my n is. This is what you want to find. Times the common difference, which is -10. This equals to -755. 5. Now always multiply this with these two numbers, not with 5. -n times n will give you -n, plus -10 times -1 will give you +10 equals to -755. 5 plus 10 will give you 15, minus 10n equals to -755. I will move all the numbers to the other side, so -10 equals to -755 minus 15. Then 700, this equals to 755 -15 will give you -770. If you divide both sides by -10, you will get n equals to just 77. That means there are 77 terms in this series. Now if you want to write this in sigma notation, first of all you need to write the general term of this series, which is the nth term. How to find the nth term? This equals to U1 plus n minus 1 d. I don't know what the n is for the general term. U1 equals to 5 plus n minus 1. I will just leave it like that, and the common difference is -10. This equals to 5 -10n plus 10. It will give me 15 minus 10n, which is the same thing as this one, though I don't know why I did it again. This equals to 15, like you can write 15 minus 10n because this is the general term of this series, or the nth term, and you started with n equals to 1. That means the lower limit is just going to be 1, and it stops at this term where the n is 77. You can write the upper limit equals to 77, and that's how you write your series in sigma notation.